But it's scarier than that. There's a purpose to the growth of all this kind of state power, and I use that term state broadly to include tech and education and all those sorts of things, and the media notably. The most disturbing story I've seen on CNN in quite some time occurred over just the past few days. An 18-year-old guy, Jackson Reffitt, turned his dad in to the FBI because his dad went to the Stop the Steal rally at Capitol Hill. Maybe he was part of the riot, I'm not sure. He was certainly around the area. And so this kid calls the FBI to turn his dad in because his dad said, hey, if you turn me in, you're a traitor. I guess the kid had been threatening to turn him in or suggested he might turn him in. He says, if you turn me in, you're a traitor. And you know what happens to traitors? They get capital punishment. So this kid calls the FBI, gets his father arrested, and then CNN has him on to talk about the wonderful story. Now, maybe you're of two minds on this, man. Maybe it was a serious threat. Maybe he had to turn his dad in. Well, I don't know. It doesn't sound like a serious threat. Listen to Reffitt tell the story to Cuomo, who's lapping it up.
I know you love your family, and I know this is hard. So help people understand, why did you feel you had to let authorities know about what was being done to your father and what was happening in his own head?
I don't really know how to explain it. It just felt like the right thing, regardless of my emotions and how I felt and how much I loved my family and my dad. I was worried. I didn't think he would actually do anything bad, but him saying anything even remotely threatening to me and my sister and my family and government officials, it was just too much.
Now, listen here. This is an important point that he's making. Because presumably the reason he called the FBI on his dad is because his dad threatened to kill him, right? He says, you'd be a traitor. You know what happens to traitors. But the kid says right here, he doesn't think his dad would have done anything bad. He doesn't actually think it was a threat. But he turned his dad into the FBI anyway. His dad's since been arrested. Why did he do it? Well, he makes clear it's because they have different political views.
It's been definitely over the past 4 years that it's grown and just snowballed into what my dad's become now. And he's still my father, but he's changed a lot.
How so?
He's been more active on the internet, and obviously the militia and the far-right extremists he's been involved with recently. He's been a lot more, I don't want to say aggressive, but more scared.
Would he talk to you about it?
No. I actually never even knew he was going to D.C. until the day he left. I'm sure it was because of my political views, but I'm not sure.
And there you have it. I'm sure it's because of my political views. Presumably this kid is quite left-wing. And then he posted a fundraiser because his mother kicked him out of the house for getting his father arrested. And from the picture, he's wearing he's got very long hair. He's wearing a pink hat. He doesn't look like a right-wing conservative. I'm not even really attacking this kid. I mean, he's 18 years old. I guess he's an adult. And it's wrong to get your father arrested, generally speaking, especially for just being a Republican. But I'm not attacking this kid. My heart kind of breaks for this kid. And certainly it breaks for the family, the sisters and the mother, who the kid acknowledges. He says, oh, yeah, I've broken their hearts. I've totally destroyed their lives. Yeah, because I got my dad arrested. But I felt like I had to do it. I'd do it again. And Chris Cuomo, that disgusting man, lapping it up. So happy. Oh, yeah, tell me more about how you got your dad arrested because he's so right-wing. Yeah, tell me. Oh, you had to do it. You had to do it. I mentioned this whole story, not even to comment on the kid or the dad or even Chris Cuomo. I bring up this story because it has a lot to do with how the left operates. It actually tells you a lot about the difference between the right and the left. They begin with different fundamentally different views of society, and their political agendas are oriented according to those premises. So for conservatives, the fundamental building block of society is the family. It's not the individual. It's the family. That is the fundamental building block. We are not born as free-floating atoms flying around in outer space. And then we land, and through our consent, we choose to join a family. It's not how it works. We are born out of an act of love between our parents, and at a higher level, out of the act of love of God, our Creator, who creates the world through an act of speech. Let there be light, and so on. And we are born with duties, with obligations, with loyalties. We are stewards of ourselves, our life, which is a gift from our parents as a proximate cause and from God ultimately. And we are stewards of this creation. That's where conservatives begin. The left, and I include liberals in this, I include libertarians in this, the left libertarians certainly, begin with this idea that the individual is the building block of society. And we are born primarily to rights and entitlement and not loyalty and not duty and not obligation, but darn it, I better get mine, all oriented toward the ultimate liberation. And that liberation must occur by overcoming the institutions of society, which now we use the term white supremacy, I guess, it's the term du jour. It's a faddish idea. But you hear all the patriarchy is another one of these, and ultimately the family, which is that bedrock institution. It's the smallest political institution you can have of multiple people in society organically. That is why the left is always attempting to destroy the family by any means necessary, by redefining the family, by taking power away from the family, by increasing the role of the state. This is why even radical individualists sometimes become defenders of state power, because if the fundamental unit of society is the individual, then the only way to do anything together is by amassing all those individuals together, that is truly the theory of fascism, and it's in the true meaning of that word, where you bundle all the sticks together in the state, and the state is the highest good. And of course, the progressive left has this exalted view of the state, and even mainstream liberals have an exalted view. Those are different scenarios, and you're going to see a whole lot more of this. It's deeply disturbing, but this is what it looks like. We talk about it in the abstract a lot. This is what it looks like on the granular level. And this is going to be a process that goes on like the lockdowns, according to Biden.